Hey everybody, Dr. Greco here. Welcome to Ministry in a Minute. So we're talking about the lampstand this week. And we said that the lampstand that's in the tabernacle shows up all over Scripture as this metaphor. And the light often symbolizes God's power, God's presence, and God's purpose. But it also symbolizes good versus evil. The fact that God is the definition of goodness. The fact that God gets to say what is right and what is wrong. In John chapter 1, and I love John chapter 1 because John starts out with in the beginning. He's tying it back to the beginning of the Bible, back to the beginning of the Old Testament. And so here we have in Exodus 25, the lampstand, the beginning of the Jewish people. And so as John moves through chapter 1, he starts out with in the beginning, but when he gets a few verses later, he says that Jesus was the life, and that life was the light of men. And the light shone in the darkness, but the darkness did not understand it. And so what we see is that light, these lampstands, and then how that light shines and plays out in the Bible, reminds us of good and evil, that God is the one who defines good and evil. And if we are following what God says to do, if we're lining up our lives, if our worldview, if we look at the world through the lens of God and understand the world the way God does and love people the way Jesus did, and we are being that light, that's good. If we take that back and say, I need to understand things my way, that is a lack of understanding. That's darkness. It may not seem evil to us, but eventually it leads to evil. And so we see that God is the one who illuminates all the things that we need to know. He's the one who defines. That's another term for illumination, definition. He defines right and wrong, truth and falseness, good and evil. And we need to allow him to do that. We'll see you tomorrow for another Ministry in a Minute.